everybody. It's Pastor Rob Lee. God bless you so much. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hey, this is a special video that we're putting together to provide some instruction for you as we come back to church. A wise man once said, it's much more difficult to open a church than it is to close one. And we're trying to open this church. But there are a lot of rules we got to follow. And so since those rules are now public documents where everybody can view, everybody's going to know whether or not we're following the rule or not. So we want to do our best to follow the rule. That's what we're doing here. Now, for the past 3 months, you've not been on our campus. If you've come to our church, this is what you've seen. You've seen these signs that we've put up to discourage people from coming in because technically the church sanctuary itself has been closed, although the church itself has not been closed. We've been, as you know, performing online videos. We've been doing online services. I've been sending you pastoral blogs, which some of you actually read them. Thank you very much. We've been doing our food bank, both for our church family as well as our community. So we're trying to be active and be a part of your life, providing the church resources in the form of using the campus for activity, using the pool for swimming or the volleyball or whatever. We want to make sure that you know we love you. We want to do our part to help you to be better Christians as we go through this pandemic together. But we're trying to get you back into church. So our plan is to open on June 14th. June 14th, we're going to call it Welcome Home Sunday. That's our marketing, and that's what we're going to do. So we want to encourage you to be prepared to come back to church on June 14th. But you got to know there's a few rules you got to have. So I'm going to walk you through those rules, okay? So first of all, this is the breezeway. As you know, you've been here before. And we call this the Lot 1 breezeway. And this breezeway is going to be the place where you come into the building. You come into the building. Ingress the building, as it were, okay? You're going to walk here into the lobby. First thing you're going to have somebody do is they're going to shoot you with a pistol thermometer. Don't worry, it doesn't hurt. It just tells them your temperature without them touching you. We got to make sure that you don't have a fever. Because if you have a fever, you're going home. Congratulations. But if your temperature is okay, then you get to continue to come in. So when you come in, you want to make sure that you have a face mask. Now, not everybody has a face mask, or maybe you forgot your face mask in the car, or maybe you have a problem with face masks. Where normally we would not require you to wear a face mask, under these current rules, you have to wear a face mask. So we got a bunch of face masks here for you, and plenty more where that came from. They're disposable, so, or you can take them, whatever. We're not going to take them back. They're yours once you have them. But this will help you to keep your germs to yourself, and it will also help other people to keep their germs from you. It's just one of those brotherly love kind of things, okay? Okay, so we're inside the sanctuary now, and as you can see, what we've done is we've separated these chairs out so they can be appropriately socially distanced as best we can to meet the requirement for the CDC. So if you're sitting in a chair and the person's in front of you, your heads are 6 feet apart. That's what happens when you separate them by 54 inches. So with that being said, that's what we've done here. So when you come into the sanctuary, if you're a family, families can sit together, no problem. But if you're in another family or another group, then you want to just socially distance yourself as best you can. Now, we have 176 chairs on the main floor in the sanctuary right now. Plus, we have all the chairs that are open in the balcony. Gansing has gone through and disinfected the entire balcony. We've gone through and wiped everything down. We've vacuumed to make sure it's completely clean so that we have plenty of room and plenty of clean spaces for people to sit in. This is a part of the process that we're required to do to bring our church back to an open status. Let me show you what we got going on over here. Right now we're converting, or I should say modifying the mother's room here, and we're going to make that partially a control room to house a lot more of our audio video equipment because we're trying to upgrade our internet access. As you know, we've been spending most of our time on the internet, and we're trying to provide a quality product for all the people that are watching us, not just locally, but around the world. And if you've not noticed, we've had a lot more views now as people are kind of curious about what's going on, and they want to be a part of what the body of Christ has to offer. So it'll still be a bride's room and a mother's room. It's also just going to be a production room. We're going to put a partition up to separate the two. Now, if you look in the lobby here, we had to remove all the tables and chairs. I should say the round tables. And the reason why is because we cannot have any places where people can sit and eat. So we had to close the cafe as well. So, as you can see, we shut off the drinking fountain, but we put a special fountain there that you can get a cup and then dispose of the cup when you're done. So you can get water, but you don't actually put your mouth up to the receptacle. Just another way of insulating our parishioners. So when you leave church at the end of the service, you will leave through the cafe lobby. You will not go through the breezeway. The reason why is there's going to be people out there waiting to come in for the next service. And so the idea is that we want to make sure people have the ability to come in and ingress and egress the building in the same direction. If you want to have fellowship with people outside with a mask and socially distanced, no problem. You can do that just outside the building in the fresh air. As you can see, we've added a platform here. This is used for our camera system to go alongside our other camera system that we have as we're trying to enhance our video quality for these services. The singers on the stage will be socially distanced, as they always are, and I will have a plexiglass in front of myself because apparently I spit when I preach. Figure that out. So those in the front row won't have to worry. You're no longer sitting in the wet zone. That's right. Now, we're going to have plenty of instructional posters put up so people will know what to do, which is also part of our requirement. We're also going to have hand sanitizers that you put your hand under and it immediately disperses hand sanitizer material that you can wash your hands without actually touching the hand sanitizer. This is also a part of our requirement of bringing everybody back together. Now, our goal is that we're going to continue with our drive-in service at 7:45. So that's going to continue because there's a lot of people that feel more comfortable coming to church in a contained environment. No problem. You can continue with the drive-in service. Then we're going to add a service. It will begin at 9 o'clock right in here. So we're going to forego Christian education and worship practice in lieu of that second service. We can move our Christian education to the other service or another day. I'll let the teachers make that decision, decide what's best for their class. And you can either do that online or you can do it in person, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Worship practice will just continue on Thursdays or any other day that Pastor Kevin might think is necessary. Then when that 9 o'clock service is over, it'll end around 10:15, we have our regular 10:30 service that will begin same way. So you'll come in through the breezeway, you'll exit out the cafe lobby. Then the next group comes in for the third service, which will be the second service in person here, and they'll come in through the breezeway, and then they can exit out the breezeway because that will be the last service. Unless we have more people coming, then we'll have to add more services, and we'll deal with that as it comes. But for the launch date, which is our reopen date, which is June 14th, we're calling it Welcome Home Sunday, and we want to encourage you guys to be a part of that as well. Now, we realize that not everybody might feel comfortable coming at first. No problem. When you feel like you're ready, you come on down. But I want you to know that your tithe dollar needs to continue to come here. So what we have here is we have your tithe envelopes, pens, and you put them in the box. We're not going to be taking offering under these conditions. The CDC has required us to refrain from taking offerings where we're passing the offering plate from one person to the next. Even though we take offerings at our drive-in service with a long pole, we're not actually passing it, so we can get away with it. And so here you just put your money in the drop box when you show up. It's your way of supporting the work of the Lord while you come here to church. Plus, it also gives you an opportunity to support our missionaries, which we have many missionaries that we're supporting, as well our building capital stewardship campaign, which, by the way, while we were gone, we dropped below the $200,000 mark. So now we're in the 190s, and that's a very good thing. We're slowly hacking that thing down, and we're excited to one day have it completely paid off. But until then, we're going to keep plugging away. So if you come down here, I want you to get an idea of what it's like. The aisles are here. You have lots of wide aisles here, so you have plenty of room. And of course, we don't want you hugging and kissing and all that kind of stuff. You know, we just need to continue to practice the social distancing. And of course, we know that some of you guys will still hug and kiss because you're Christians and Pentecostal at that. So you might find yourself down here at an altar where you're praying. And so the altar person that will pray for you will have a mask and gloves on, and they will ask you if you want prayer. If you just want to be left alone, just say you're fine. If you say, yes, I'd like prayer, they'll pray with you, and then they'll immediately move away. They will have a mask. You will have a mask. Technically, it's pushing the envelope a little bit, but the bottom line is, if you took the time to come to church and come down to this altar, we want to do everything we can to be able to minister to you with the laying on of hands and praying for you, because we believe this is what the Lord has called us to do, and we'll continue to do that as best we can under these circumstances. Now, where there's some things we cannot do, there's some things that we can do. We figured out a creative way to take Holy Communion with a little receptacle and a grape and a wafer. We'll continue to do that as well because that is okay with the CDC because we're not touching anything. You have your own, and then you put it away when you're done. And so we'll get around our Holy Communion goal that way. As you look out, you can see that we've done our best to be able to make this place as safe and comfortable and clean as we possibly can. And so we want to encourage you to be a part of what God is doing here. Now, we will tell you that we will not have childcare for at least the first 21 days. 21 days, because that's part of the CDC rule there. We're going to reevaluate after 21 days of our opening to see where we are at. So parents with children, you bring your kids with you. We'll give them a coloring book and crayons or something like they would do if they went to a restaurant, or you can bring some type of an eye device. Now listen, if your kid gets to squawking, get him out of the sanctuary, because listen, we don't want to hear it. I mean, we love you, we love your kid, but if they're disrupting the flow of the service, they got to go. You know the drill. We love everybody, but they got to go. And so we realized that. I was watching a pastor on TV the other day. He had a kid squawking in a sanctuary, and none of the ushers got the kid out. So he's trying to preach, and the kid's squawking. We don't roll that way here. We do things with decency and in order. So if your kid gets noisy, just walk him outside. It shall be well. We love him, but we got to keep this bus moving in the right direction. Now, as far as youth ministry goes, Pastor Jamin will also let you know about that, but he's going to start youth on the 17th of June. They're going to kick it off with a pool party, and so they're planning that. We will not start our midweek service, our Wednesday night service, until June 17th as well. We want to start with our main service, and we'll continue to live stream the midweek service. And then once we get to June 17th, we'll always be live streaming our services, but you'll be able to come into the sanctuary, and you'll be able to enjoy a midweek Bible study starting June the 14th, or June the 17th. So that'll be great. So I'm hoping you're getting this information. I know it's a lot. We're going to try and edit it to make it real clear and maybe put some flash so that you can understand what I'm saying better. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, we really look forward to seeing you come on back. Oh, and one more thing. There's a chance that Jesus Christ might return for his church before we even get here. So if that's the case, hey, it's been great serving you as your pastor. I look forward to seeing you on the other side. If by chance you're not saved, don't worry, you can still be saved. It's just going to be a lot harder for you. We have rapture packets for that. Okay, so with that, look forward to seeing you back here on June 14th. It'll be a great opportunity to be able to be together and love the Lord and worship together and practice social distancing and all that entails. Some people are asking, are we allowed to sing? The answer is yes. In LA County, you can sing. In San Diego County, you can't sing. They made it against the rule. But in LA County, you can sing. So we'll be singing, you'll be singing. It'll be a wonderful time of singing. Everybody has to have a mask. That's kind of the rule. Now, when I'm preaching, I'll probably take my mask off because I'll have a shield that'll be in front of me, plus I'll be more than 6 feet from all y'all. So it shall be well there. Okay, well, that's all I have. If you have any questions, please contact the church office. You can email us at info@gvag.net, or you can call in and ask a question, and we'll do our very best to answer it. But we're doing our best to follow the rules, and we'll have more information coming out to you, which I'll get to in the pastoral blogs. But I just wanted you to be aware of what we're working on now to make your return to this church a wonderful experience. God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in church on the 14th of June. God bless you. Bye.